Yes, Kenya. Tamu sana, yes, tamu sana. Yes. Today, 14th of July 2021, IEBC has called for tender invitation. If you look through their website or their portal, this is what they had to say. Invitation to tender. 14th July 2021. Tender number IEBC stroke OIT stroke 002 stroke 21 stroke 2021 stroke 2022. Then it continues. Supply and delivery of ballot papers, register of voters, statutory election results, declaration forms to be used at the polling station, election and referendum result declaration forms to be used at the constituency, county, and national tallying center, a 3-year framework contract. And then you can see part of the tender down there. Yes, folks. From this latest development by IEBC, it's very clear and it leaves no doubt at all that IEBC is ready and preparing for a referendum. It comes out very, very clearly. So what does the law say, ladies and gentlemen? What does the law say? Let's see what the law says about our next general election. The Constitution of Kenya requires that a general election of members of parliament be held on the second Tuesday in August in every 5th year, which means that the next general election is scheduled for 9 August 2022. If Kenya is at war, the election can be delayed if a resolution is passed in each house of parliament by at least 2/3 of all the members of the house. Such a resolution can delay the election by up to 6 months and may be passed multiple times, provided that the delays do not cumulatively exceed 12 months. The Constitution requires that a presidential election take place at the same time as the general election. That's what the law says about our general election. As things stand right now, we shall go to the next general election next year on 9th August 2022. And then here we have IEBC preparing for a referendum. And the referendum they are preparing for is most likely the BBI referendum. In the BBI referendum, that was a popular initiative, something that cannot be amended in parliament. It has to be passed as it is, and it must go to the people as it is. Inside the BBI, ladies and gentlemen, there is a section of delimitation of boundaries of constituencies. And also, if you read at the Constitution, it says that boundary delimitation can only be done at least 12 months to the next general election. BBI case is in the Court of Appeal. Verdict will be delivered on 20th of August. It simply means that the day the BBI judgment will be delivered, we shall already be late. It will now be less than 12 months. So technically, it means that under the current law as it is, we cannot hold a referendum. So why is IEBC calling for referendum materials? Why are they calling for the referendum materials? That's the big question. The elephant in the room, ladies and gentlemen. The first reason, ladies and gentlemen, I strongly believe that from where IEBC sits, they already know that we will not go to the election on 9th of August. They know for a fact that the elections will be delayed. And sometimes back, Chebukati himself insinuated that elections might be delayed. And before that, Francis Atwoli, Kotu Secretary General, also made it clear that we must have a referendum before election. So Atwoli and also Chebukati and IEBC, they are reading from the same script that election might be delayed. That comes out very, very clearly. So it simply means we might not go to the election on 9th of August 2022, because from the constitution, again from the law, you are seeing that the law can be amended as long as the BBI proponents will marshal 2/3 members of parliament in the National Assembly and also 2/3 senators in the Senate. They can amend the law so that our general election next year can be delayed by at least 6 months to a maximum of 12 months. Is something that can be done. The law allows for that. Yes, having said all that, ladies and gentlemen, this tender invitation also just exposes maybe IEBC, the kind of corruption that is going on at IEBC. You know, some of these constitutional bodies, they always make a lot of money using these tenders. So maybe IEBC are just trying to maybe find ways or loopholes of making some quick kickbacks, because maybe they know that maybe referendum might not be done altogether, but they go on to invite for tenders. So maybe this can also be a way of this constitutional body trying to find kickbacks. That's also a possibility. Or alternatively, IEBC might also be preparing for they just want to be ahead of the game, because you know, after the verdict shall have been delivered, there will be no time to start preparing. So they want to start preparing early enough, because it's only about 1 month to the verdict. It's on 20th of August next month. So they just maybe they are also just preparing themselves early enough, so that in the event that the IEBC is given, in the event that the BBI thing is given the nod by the appeals court, IEBC shall have started the preparation for it all, ladies and gentlemen. So what does all this show about the BBI thing altogether? From where I sit, ladies and gentlemen, I strongly believe that there is a very concerted effort to make sure Kenyans go to a referendum before the next general election. That will depend largely if Uhuru Kenyatta and Raila Amolo Odinga can marshal at least 2/3 in the National Assembly and 2/3 in the Senate to delay election by at least 6 months or to a maximum of 12 months. So it simply means this, folks. Some times back, when the BBI document was being passed at the National Assembly, or rather in the National Assembly, we saw the side of the handshake team. They marshaled over 2/3 at the Senate and also in the National Assembly. And now that these members of parliament, from what we have seen in the past elections, about 80% of members of parliament are always sent home. And I know from where they sit as of now, they are afraid of the looming general election. So members of parliament, if their stay in parliament can be delayed for up to 12 months, I know they will gladly agree to that. If now they are told now that their stay will be continued for at least 6 or 12 months, they will gladly agree to that. And we might just find these members of parliament and also the senators just ganging up to make sure that election is delayed by at least 6 months to a maximum of 12 months. So from where I sit, I'm seeing a possibility of election being delayed. Assuming now Uhuru Kenyatta and Raila Amolo Odinga decides that we must have a referendum before the election, the only option is for election to be delayed by at least 6 months or a maximum of 12 months. That's all for today, ladies and gentlemen. So in case you've just bumped on this YouTube channel, tap on the subscription button and also on the notification bell to receive a notification anytime we upload a new video. Kindly also give this video a like. Give it a like, please. God bless you. God bless Kenya. Tamu sana.